have an addiction. And it's okay if you can't admit this to anybody else, but you need to be able to admit it to yourself. Admit it to yourself. You have an addiction. And that's okay. I don't know what it is. We all have different struggles, right? But for me personally, I had addictions to men, addictions to online shopping, social media. I feel incomplete without it, or I rely on it as a crutch. If you feel like that about anything in your life, that means you are addicted to this thing, because in reality, you don't need it. You don't need anything. All you need is like your basic Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You need like food, you need shelter. You are perfectly fine the way that you are, but you feel an urge. And then when you feel the urge that you want this thing, you act to do it. And then maybe you feel shame. Maybe you feel shame after you've indulged in this addiction that you have. And you beat yourself up and you tell yourself like, why? Why can't I just control myself? And then you try to control yourself. But it doesn't work because humans are not meant to be controlled. Humans are meant for freedom. Humans are naturally defiant. We all have a need for autonomy. We all need to be free. So you cannot control anybody. So here's a lesson number 1. You cannot control yourself. You cannot control anybody else. Stop trying to control. Try to understand. Understand why you feel this way. Why are you addicted to this thing? Why do you feel the need for this thing? Understand it. Question it. Don't just blindly try to suppress it. Don't try to act out on it. Don't just get the feeling that you need this thing and then act on it. When you know deep down that it's bad, right? The first thing is that you need to stop lying to yourself. If there is something you're making excuses like, oh, it's not that bad. Maybe it's like somewhat beneficial. No, you know if something is serving you or holding you back. If this thing is holding you back, genuinely, you know it is, then the first step is to recognize that you have a problem here that you need to fix. And that's okay. It's okay to have a problem. It's okay not to be perfect. We all have struggles. And even if you don't, maybe you can't admit this to anyone else. Maybe if you admit to anyone that you have a problem, they're going to shame you for it. They will ridicule for you. They will beat you for it. You don't have to admit it. You don't have to tell anybody, but just understand in yourself that this is something that you need to fix. Understand within yourself that this is something that is a problem. Acknowledge it. When you deceive yourself, there's no hope for you. You cannot deceive yourself. Don't lie to, the worst person you can lie to is yourself. So don't suppress it. Now that you know it's okay, you have a problem, you don't need to tell anybody, but you can recognize it, you can admit it to yourself. Now, instead of just acting out blindly whenever you feel an urge or trying to suppress it and control, you ask, why do I have this? What is the cause of this? I can give you examples from my own personal addictions. For example, the online shopping, looking for clothes, it would always be from an urge of not liking how I looked. So for example, if I see a picture of myself and I think that I don't think I look good, I think I look ugly, what can I do to fix it? What's a quick way? It's like, what am I wearing? I see girls on the internet who are wearing cute things and they look beautiful. Beautiful girls on the internet. I say, what are they wearing? How can I emulate that? It's actually, my online shopping addiction was rooted in a need to feel good about how I look because I did not like how I looked. My addiction to boys, my addiction to men, my addiction to needing attention was the need to feel loved, to feel cared by somebody. So why did I talk to guys? Why did I entertain guys on Snapchat? Why did I waste my time doing these things? Why did I not value myself enough to be in relationships where I was respected? Why did I tolerate literally the worst, dirt treatment and still keep going back? Because I was addicted to that feeling of being cared for being loved. Even if it was just a little bit, it would be the highs and lows. And once you understand this, write it out on a piece of paper. Have it stare at you in the face, because once this problem is staring at you in the face, you cannot lie to yourself. You cannot deceive yourself. And it might hurt. I don't know what it is that you struggle with, but it will probably hurt. It will probably be very, very hard. But this is for your own good, because you don't want to be stuck in this anymore. You want a solution. You want to get out. But the solution is not control. The solution is not suppressing. The solution is being understanding and figuring out the reason why, the root reason why, buried under all of your feelings, all of your possible childhood traumas. Face that shit. I know it's painful, but you need to face that shit. Why did I chase toxic relationships? Because I didn't have a good relationship with my dad. Why did I stay in relationships where I was objectified? I was objectifying myself because I thought that that's what I needed to do to be loved. It's painful, but admit it. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to tell anybody, but don't lie to yourself. Like, figure it out for yourself. And then, you know what they say is that a problem that is identified is a problem half solved. So just the fact that you've pointed out the problem, just the fact that you've admitted it, that is a problem half solved. Once you've identified it, the solutions will just come to yourself. It will become clear as day, like what you need to do. But you need to fully internalize it. You need to stop denying it. Stop denying it. And you'll find that a lot of the addictions, they're not fully bad. Why was I addicted to social media? It had benefits. There was reasons why I couldn't get rid of it, because that's where all of my friends were. That's how I stayed connected to people. I couldn't just delete it. There are uses for people who watch YouTube. If YouTube is your addiction, YouTube is not completely bad, because there is so much utility in YouTube. There is so much good stuff that comes out of YouTube. You learn so much. It's a tool. The thing is, you have a bad relationship with this tool. The tool itself is not good or bad. You are just abusing it. So if it's something that you can't get rid of, that you don't want to cut cold turkey out of your life, you need to set you need to set some kind of boundary for yourself. And you might think that these boundaries are like limiting and it's like a form of control, but these boundaries will set you free, because you can't just rely on your discipline. You can't just be like, I'm going to try to control myself out of sheer willpower. That's way harder, and you're going to falter because you can't control your emotions. You can't control when you suddenly feel the urge and then you just do it. Set yourself boundaries. If it's YouTube, shut it off after a certain time. If it's Instagram, shut it off after a certain time. I set a child lock on a couple of my apps. TikTok, Instagram. After a certain amount of time, after 30 minutes, I get locked out of the app and I don't know the password. Only my mom knows the password. So I physically cannot go in the app. And these locks have set me free. These boundaries have set me free. But figure it out. Like, what is the root? What is the reason? And work from there. Be compassionate with yourself. Be kind to yourself. You know you have these problems, but it's okay. Everybody struggles with these things. Do not shame yourself. Do not try to shun yourself. Do not think I should be better, because you shouldn't. Don't think I should be able to control myself. I should be better than this. Do not be ashamed, because you shouldn't. You are just human. You have impulses. You have needs. You need to feel love. You need to feel safe. These are basic human needs. And if you don't feel it, you're going to try to seek them in external things. Be compassionate with yourself and understand why you are feeling these kind of ways. And work with yourself, not against yourself. Don't try to fight yourself. You don't have to fight yourself. Treat yourself like a friend. The way that you would help a friend, help yourself. Love yourself. I love you, and I know that you got your shit together and you can do this.